Sigma Programming, back in the building. I want to talk about quality control. Let's talk about it. You understand that we in a Halloween season, in the season of Samhain, what they call Samhain, the Lord of the Dead. So let's talk about what's hiding behind life. What's hiding behind life is something called quality control. We're not talking about the company or like any pages with the name quality control. We're talking about quality control itself. Controlling the quality. Seeing struggles as far as quality control in the pandemic. You probably seen quality control issues in your local restaurants. People went from cooking your food to sometimes when the quarantine got real bad, they were just microwaving that stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. They were just reheating it. The French fries was old. The grease was old. The chicken wings was rubbery. A lot of people experienced a lot of negative experiences dealing with quality control. Quality control in relationships. A lot of people were dealing with quality control in relationships. Couples started to break down. Harmonies and everything started to break down. Family units and family structures started to break down because quality control was lacking. See, we all have quality. We are all of quality. That's one of the biggest things to take from this, is that we all have quality. It's just a matter of controlling that quality. Do we have quality control? And the first thing I want to break down about quality control is game versus games. Game versus games. Because we had a whole community and a whole movement, Red Pill, etc., that first dealt with waking up to the reality that the world and everything that was set up was a lie, and voila, we already know what the world stage is. We know that everything is pretty much one big production for the sake of subjugation and consumerism. We know that things go on to get you to buy things. Everything is about product placement. Everything is about paid promotion. Everything is about a sell. But in this quality control, we got two ways to sell something. We either have game or we play games. In the dating world is apparent, but it's nuanced though. It's nuanced, very nuanced in the dating world. And when I say the dating world, I don't mean just people going out to restaurants, you taking your girl to Ruth Chris. That's not all I'm talking about with the dating world. I'm talking about just the simple potential partner interaction between people. There's game and then there's games. Your quality control. So let's talk about what game is, because a lot of times game gets confused with playing games. And the way it can sometimes be packaged is, oh, well, a person who has a lot of game, they sound slick, they sound clever, they're wordsmiths. And while a lot of this is true in the acquisition and expression of real game, all game really is game. Real game. All game really is communicating effectively. That's all it is. But you can't communicate if you don't know anything. See, you got to have a knowledge base. It takes a knowledge base and a wisdom base in order to have true game. Don't let anybody lie to you. You got to have knowledge before you have game, or else you're just going to be spitting out a whole bunch of hogwash, a whole bunch of balderdash, a whole bunch of nonsense. And people will be able to see right through that. They'll be able to see right through that rouse. That you just trying to spit some razzle dazzle just to get the girl. Versus if you're really intelligent and you're really clever and you're really witty, you can be attractive in any subject, any topic of conversation. You can come off as attractive. Because believe it or not, quality control is real. and intelligence is attractive to a female. It might not seem like it in every arena, and this has a lot to do with the environment not always being conducive to intelligence. It just might be a realm of ratchetry. So something like intelligence is like a needle in a haystack, like a diamond in the rough. But that's what makes it special. In the world of ignorance, the intelligent one is king. I'm going to say that again. In the world of ignorance, the intelligent person is king or queen. I'm talking about game. Game is making knowledge appealing, making intelligence, wittiness, knowledge, wisdom, making it appealing, making it attractive. And you gotta have knowledge. You have to have a library of information to share. This doesn't mean that you're going up reading a whole book and going over a whole dissertation when you in a laid back setting. That's not what we mean. And a lot of guys messed that up in the dating world for a lot of people because they made game all about their book smarts. So they come in there, they flex their degrees, when the only degrees that need to be flexed in this room is the temperature of the room. Not your bachelor's of this, not your master's of that, not your PhD of this, because a lot of people with a lot of big degrees can still end up lonely with all of that money, not being able to draw in a single potential partner with all that money, because they didn't understand probably the difference between game and games. How could they? They had to keep their head in the books. Game is only applicable where knowledge is applied. Game is only applicable where knowledge is applied. If you just have knowledge and you don't apply any knowledge, you'll be looked at like an information gatherer who just spits out trivialities. You're a game show. A game show. Because you're playing a game that suggests that if you're smart enough, if you have enough book smarts, you should be able to get the top tier mate. But this is not the case. This is not the case. See, with game doesn't come just knowledge, but it comes with experience. And with experience, that has everything to do with how you handle experiences. So if you don't have any experience and a whole bunch of book smarts, you're not experienced. You just have book smarts. Doesn't mean you applied it, doesn't mean you understand how it works, doesn't mean you understand the nuances on how to give that knowledge a working reality. And so you stuck with playing games. You end up stuck with playing games. And games messes up quality control. And games can sometimes be random. Like you reaching trying to get the crane to move and grab the stuffed animal you want. But if you ain't moving that crane right, if you don't have knowledge of how to move that crane, if you don't have knowledge of how many seconds is gonna pass before that crane descends and before that claw closes on something, you might pop a quarter or two in the machine and end up with nothing. You just threw your money away, not having enough game about the game that you were playing. So that's quality control in a nutshell in terms of game. Now, when you put this on a bigger scale, now you get this comparison, the difference between paradise and utopia. Quality control. Sometimes on the search for quantity, we forfeit quality. We're looking for a distant land. We're looking to go somewhere else when the paradise that we're really seeking is all around us if we would restructure it and organize it correctly. All of the connections that you probably need to meet in life are probably right in your neighborhood, probably right in your building, probably right across the street, right down the street, right up the street. But you think you got to fly all the way to LA to get the necessary connection when there's probably somebody with a hookup right in your own neighborhood. You're sacrificing paradise for utopia because you don't understand quality control. Quality control is about making the maximum use of your immediate environment. The message was always pushed, if you want to succeed, you got to move out of your comfort zone. Well, that doesn't always mean you getting a plane ticket to go somewhere. It doesn't always mean that, because in the search for paradise, people can get lost in utopia, traveling to different cities, different states, different countries, looking for what's right next door to their physical address. But they're searching all over the world. They've been all around the world, and I can't find my baby. But your baby is next door. Quality control. You sacrificing paradise for a continued utopia. That's game versus games. The games is you think you got to do A, B, and C to get it, when game is with the knowledge you have, you can progress using that knowledge effectively. That's game. And the last thing that I want to close out with when it comes to quality control is the ops. The ops. Because this is a magic spell word. And the ops means opposition. It means conflict. It means who you got beef with, who you getting ready to slide on, who you getting ready to ride on, who you getting ready to eliminate. All it pertains to is elimination in the perpetual cycle of violence, which on the low is really low key, is genocide. Is genocide. Whether you taking it out on your own people or some other people, either way is genocide / homicide. That's what it is. That's ops. But I want to talk about the other ops. The ops that we need to be looking for is opportunities. Those ops, not opposition. We don't need to be worried about the opposition. We need to be worried about the opportunities, because it's the opportunities that's going to advance our life. The opposition is not. We already have enough opposition. Why are you looking for more ops? We already have enough opposition in this quest for quality control. Why are you looking for opposition? You need to be looking for opportunities. And if you can't find opportunities, you need to create opportunities. You need to probably become an opportunity for somebody. Somebody needs the knowledge you have. Somebody is tired of the games and they need the game that you have. They need the game that you have because they're tired of playing games. And when you're playing games, just like somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. But when you have game, everybody can win. Everybody can win when you have game. When you have game, you can walk off with the girl and not have the guys feel any type of way. But when you're playing games, everybody in that equation can possibly turn into what? Ops rather than opportunities. Super T Sigma, Sigma programming. Stay rejuvenated, stay illuminated, and always put your mind above your heart, because the brain is above the heart in the human body. You heard? Peace.